Hi friends, this is Brandi, and I am here for another story behind the stamp for the newest Essentials by Ellen stamp release. I'm so excited for this month. There are so many good sets, so I want to just dive in right away so I'm not rattling on at you for 4 hours. But I'm going to dive in with the first set, which is Space Out. If you got the Subbing In Underwater set month before last, I think you're also going to love Space Out. This one comes with a good sized rocket on there that's similarly sized and shaped like the submarine in the Subbing In set, so you can kind of create that same vibe but with all outer space and sky themed stamps. This rocket you can pair with these flames, so maybe it's mid-flight, maybe it's just sitting and standing still. Whatever the case, there are a lot of fun accessories and other stamps to pair with it. We've got a number of different planets and a moon, or you could do this one as like a full moon, and of course some fun cheeky little aliens there. These also fit really well into that little window up here in the rocket itself, so keep that in mind. That's a fun way to play with them, as well as some rings to add to the planets should you need to create a whole solar system of fun. This set was really fun to work with. I can't wait to show you my samples. I kind of went a different direction at first, but I think that's what's so great about sets like this that are really flexible. Really fun sentiments this time, perfect for quite a wide gambit of cards if you're going to use it that way. Things like I Have No Comment, Sorry I Spaced, Visit Soon, Let's Plan It. That was out of this world. So definitely one of my favorites of this release. And then next, continuing to add to the Mondo collection that Ellen has, and this time with a Mondo Oak Leaf. In the US, we're heading into autumn, and so I'm always thinking about those big oak leaves as they're kind of floating around and falling to the ground, same with acorns. This leaf would be great stamped in a vibrant green as well, but also really takes on those lovely autumn fall colors, and I'll show you some of the ways that I use that. And just some bold sentiments like You Are Mighty, Changes in Season, perfect for people who are having birthdays, who are going through some kind of transition, graduating. I think this card is this stamp is gonna get a lot of use on a lot of cards in a lot of different ways, and I'm excited about it. It was really fun to play with too. And then moving into kind of a dress up with that autumn, maybe a touch of Halloween. We've been thinking about this one for a while, and it was the perfect season to add it in. This is called Dress Up Days. It ties beautifully with all of the leading lady, leading gentleman, leading little lady, leading little gentleman family. These are sized to pair well with really pretty much all of them. So pick your favorites and dress them up. You can make Frankenstein's monster with a little bolt and the stitches. You can create a fairy or a cat or a devil, a witch or a pirate. There's just so many options on here, and you can mix and match and play with them and dress up your favorite leading characters and get a little more use out of those sets as well. I love things that kind of build and continue to play with what we already have, and this set is so fun for that. And then again, keeping with that theme, we have this little set, and it's hard for me not to show you this one without the next one, but we're definitely feeling a little bit of the dinosaur vibe, a little bit of Dynamite fun happening here. This is Dynamite Halloween. It's got a dinosaur on it and a lot of little accessories similar to the Dress Up Days that pair well with that dinosaur, and some fun sentiments like, hey girlfriend, I'm baddie for you, squad goals. So these are going to be fun, paired with the dinosaurs, paired with the next set, but also I actually use some of these overlapping when I use the Dress Up Days set with my leading characters, so just keep that in mind too. And so, like I hinted at, we've got Dynamite Christmas. And this one is fun because you get 4 different dinosaurs, different sizes, facing different ways, kind of different types of dinosaurs, although, vaguely different types of dinosaurs. And then really great ways to play with them and dress them up. So you're putting a Santa hat a little bow tie, which is adorable. It's a fun way to have a Dinomite Christmas. You can add things to this little tree to decorate it, or you can decorate the dinosaurs themselves, which is what I did. I made them like their own little Christmas trees, and that was so much fun. I think this is going to be great for creating cards and tags and things for some of our dinosaur loving friends. I have a young one in my life right now that I think is going to have so much fun receiving some cards with these little friends. So Dynamite Christmas, Dynamite Halloween pair really well. You can mix and match all of these, their size, so that you can use the sets together if you'd like. And then it wouldn't be Halloween without Christmas, right? Jumping the seasons. I'm like my own craft store here. So I wanted to share this one. This is Hard Candy Christmas, part inspired by my favorite Dolly Parton song, Hands Up If You Know It, and partly by that kind of mid-century candy jar, the one that was always in my grandmother's house and then my mother's house, with those beautiful ribbon candies, those other little hard candies that were mostly delicious, more so beautiful, and always stuck together. Just this big wad of candy. But there's so much nostalgia in it. This set is fun because you can use this to create like a little shaker card with all the candies inside the jar. You can use the jar, stamped on just like some clear acetate. I'll show you my example of that. Or just paint everything. And then you've got some fun sentiments to kind of pull this theme together so you can build something that really works for you. Like have an old-fashioned Christmas, or it's a hard candy Christmas. This is the sweetest season. This one is one of my favorites, especially if you had my experience where all of the candies are stuck together. Let's stick together. I think a lot of us will understand that if we had these candies in our lives. Even if you didn't, though, I think it's so much fun to play with these, add color. I'm picturing all the people that I know that are going to add glitter and glitter paste and glimmer paste and make it really kind of fun and fancy. My skills are a little bit more rudimentary, but I had fun so much doing what I did with it. So Hard Candy Christmas, I think, is going to be a really fun set to see in use. So these are the sets. There is also going to be a Constellation Die, which I've used on a project card that will release this month. I don't have it in the screen with me now, but heads up on that. And let me just show you what I've been making so far. I did my usual stamp color, cut a whole bunch of pieces, and then also decided to kind of try out some new things this time, and my spaced out cards are a perfect example of that. I had some marble paper in my stash that I'd been telling myself I absolutely had to use or it needed to go, so I've been using it on projects lately, and I realized this is the perfect one for it. I don't have a way to link to it because it's been in my stash for so long, but I do want to note that you could make your own marble paper if you're super on it. You could also use some of the great marble stamps out there. I know Hutson shop has a ton of different options to use all those great colored inks you have to build a marble pattern, but I found that marble is a great kind of outer spacey sky backdrop. If you're someone who doesn't do backdrops really well or isn't quite mastering that blending yet, this was a fun way to bring a little pop of something extra. And I don't know why I haven't thought to pull out some of my pattern papers as backgrounds before. I think I just get really rigid about what I'm doing. But this one was fun. I stamped the rocket on a solid piece of cardstock, just this kind of goldeny mustard color, just to keep it simple. And then I just stamped right onto the background for some of the details. So like those flames, and then my sentiment, "Are you out there?" I did actually add, I'm sure you can see it reflecting, a little piece of clear acetate for the window. Just kind of popped up the rocket ship a little bit with foam tape and put some of that same cardstock underneath, just for a little extra fun. I was initially planning to put a little alien in there, and then I liked it kind of plain Jane. So up to you, but that's kind of a fun idea too. And then when I was cutting this one, I cut out 2 rocket ships at the same time, the other in this pale pink color. And I don't know if the light will pick it up. I'm going to try You can see that background is the Constellation Die, so you can see the pattern of all the constellations. And then I just put that really simple pink rocket on top. And this time I stamped directly on the little scrap of that marble paper and put a planet down. And then I realized this space on the rocket ship is perfect size for some of those sentiments. Not an initial plan, I don't remember, but I feel really excited about it now because they fit on there really well. And if you're keeping a really simple card layout, that's the perfect place to put them here, maybe here. So keep that in mind if you're using this set. And then jumping right to Christmas with Hard Candy Christmas. I've done some just pattern making with the accessories. So all of these little candies making a simple pattern. This is just black on green cardstock. And then I had this little white cutout. I was actually trying to do something really crafty with this sentiment. I was going to layer it on top of this, but I stamped it too high and it didn't work. When I was going to put this little clear acetate piece on top of it with the lines, it covered up the sentiment, but I liked it too much to throw it away. So this is a good example of using what didn't work out one day, because I just simply put it on that pattern background, tied a little red bow on top. And it's simple, yes, but this is one of my favorites that I made with this set, even though it wasn't one of the ones that kind of worked out of my grand idea scheme. And then this is what I ended up doing with that clear acetate, so I stamped right on it. And then I've just attached the candies behind it. I used just a tiny bit of adhesive to attach the candies to that clear acetate so you can't see it. And then it's really attached to the paper with some foam adhesive under the candies. And that was really fun, just to kind of give that glass feel. And keeping with that kind of glass feel, I painted this jar. So what I did was I stamped and I embossed it in a fine white embossing powder. And then when I cut it out, I put another piece of that clear acetate in between it and added some candies. And then the inside piece that I'd cut out that was painted, I just attached underneath again. But this is definitely playing with that Let's Stick Together theme. All of those candies kind of clumped in there. Not a shaker card. I attached everything down onto the page, but I know we're going to get an amazing example from someone of a shaker card with this. Moving on to the Mondo Oak, playing with watercolor and gold embossing, and then this one just using my Copics to kind of blend. Both of them turned out so fun. I loved playing with those colors, and both of them have that kind of ethereal color feel, even though one's using alcohol markers and one is using paint. So keep that in mind if you're more comfortable with one of the mediums. I think you can still achieve that feeling no matter what you decide to use. I kind of feel like I want to do a whole bunch of these leaves and then build a paper wreath out of it. It's been years since I've made a paper wreath, but I have a feeling it's coming with this Mondo one. And then moving into some Halloween. So using that Dynamite Halloween set and the dress up set, I've moved some of the pieces together, so I'm just going to give you that heads up front. Here's the Dynamite one, Squad Ghouls. We all know it's so fun to dress up these little tiny animals, but this one was especially fun. I made sure to put little black dots for the eyes anywhere that I've added a mask, which is a really simple touch to do, just so I can make sure their eyes are showing through. This one, just using the accessories. I always have so many extra that I've cut out, and I always really like a card that doesn't necessarily have an animal or a person, just a simple one to have in my arsenal should I need to send it to someone who isn't into that sort of thing, but loves the little fussy bits of the holiday. And then, of course, I started dressing up some of my favorite leading characters. This is the Party Lady, Celebration Lady. That's who she is. She's Party Lady in my head, I think. But she got ready. She's got fairy wings on, and she's got her little tiara on, her crown. Hey, girlfriend. She was so much fun. I think I knew from the very beginning. I also thought about putting the mask on with the feathers on it, but decided to keep her a little simple this round. Not as simple, but so much fun. I've got the Crafty Lady, the Little Lady, the Little Gentleman, and they are all dressed up for Halloween. And of course I had to go with the I'm Batty furry sentiment because I think we all remember from when we were kids, or know from experience as parents now, or aunts or uncles or just friends, that Halloween is so much fun to see the kids dress up and have a great time, but it's also kind of a baddie time. I mean, look how much is going on in this card, but it's so representative, I think, of what it feels like on that holiday. And it was so much fun to dress up these characters. I'm hoping you feel the same way if you grab this set. I love that they're sized so that I can mix and match them, you know, across the board with kind of the adults and the children. And then a little bit of Dynamite Dinosaurs. Have to wrapped a present for you. So this little guy, this little like T-Rex kind of guy, wrapping his little presents with his little Santa hat on. And then I mentioned that it was kind of fun to dress up the dinosaurs with those pieces. So stringing the lights across the back, little bow ties, hanging an ornament here or there, really gives a fun feeling and still keeps a really simple card. So there's a lot you can do with these, obviously. These sets, I think, kind of go across the gambit of holidays, but also what you can use them for. There's so much mix and matching available here, and I think you're going to have so much fun with them. So thanks for watching this little story behind these sets. I hope if you pick them up, you love them and you share what you make with them. Thanks so much, everybody.